Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. What we're going to be doing in this video is the prep work so that the plumbers can come in and start working on the rough end plumbing. The first thing we're going to be doing is core drilling the second floor so that we can install the drain lines, vent lines, and water supply that'll come up from the mechanical room downstairs. We ended up doing this with a core drill instead of trying to block out for these fixtures and stuff during the pour process, because we weren't exactly sure what the layout was going to be when we were getting ready to pour this. Once we figured out, after the framing was in, where all the fixtures were going to be positioned, the plumber came in and gave us a layout so that we could go ahead and do this for them. The drill we're using here is one that I'm not used to, hadn't used previously. It's a newer Husqvarna that we got from the local tool rental place. And I was pretty surprised, given how small it is, how well it worked. The holes we're going to be drilling are 2.5 inch and 4 inch, which you'll see later on. The 4 inch was a mistake, but we'll get to that when we get to it in the next video. So I'm going to show you all this process, and we'll go from here. If you're not familiar with the way a core drill works, I'll try to give you a little bit of an explanation. There's a couple of ways that these things are attached to the piece that you're working on. If you're doing something like we are, vertical, there's a vacuum pump that attaches to the base, and there's a foam gasket around it that'll suck it down to the floor. If your surface is too rough for the vacuum pump to get a good adhesion to the surface, there's a set of holes in there that you can drill out your floor and use anchors to anchor it down. You also use that process if you're doing something that's off a vertical, so at an angle or horizontal. And the bits are basically a piece of pipe. They're a hollow tube, and they've got a diamond grit around the cutting edge, and then there's a water line that you see attached to it that runs down through the spindle of the drill and into the center of that bit. And that serves a couple of purposes. One, it will carry away the debris that's generated when you're doing your cut, but two, it also keeps the bit cool so you don't wear out the diamond as quickly as if you were trying to do it dry. And this bit will cut through pretty much anything if you work it the right way. It'll go through rebar. You saw me there at the end of that last hole. I pulled the plug out and then went back to it, because if you remember when we did this speed floor, there's a steel pan decking that the concrete is actually sitting on top of. So it takes it a little bit to get through the steel. And if you listen to this drill when I'm cutting these holes, you can hear that it'll kind of load up a little bit and slow down in RPM. and you may be able to see me back off of the handle a little bit and the RPM pick back up so that we can continue with the cut. The hole that I'm cutting here is the drain for the shower that's going in this location. The last one was the vent line. And then you'll see me swap out this bit to the 4-inch bit and go over and cut the hole for the toilet drain line in the next little bay over. The rest of the plumbing in this room and this bathroom is run through the walls.
So is this relatively new, it looks like?
Yeah, brand new.
Ooh, are we the first people to try it? There you go.
We kind of like our toilet centered, right?
Well, but think, if it's somebody tall sitting down.
I don't care. I'm not tall.
Okay.
Obviously, this isn't plumbing. This is where we're going to run the main feeder line for the upstairs into the breaker box for this area. Yeah. since 2 walls in the mechanical room are made out of this legacy block, we need something to be able to attach the piping to and our filtration system and that kind of stuff. So what I'm doing here is laying out this piece of OSB we're going to attach to the wall so that it'll fit around the drain lines and the supply lines that are poured into the floor in the mechanical room. And after I get this step done and cut out, then the next thing I'm going to do is lay out a grid on the back of this so that I can drill holes that line up to the concrete inside the legacy block so that we can get this adhered to the wall using some 6-inch Tapcons. Kick that corner in and let's lean it over and see how close I actually got these. Well, that's pretty good. All right.
Yay.
Okay, we're gonna have to
Lift it up and over.
well, this one, because this one is
Yeah.
way long.
Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
Did you want to pull that phone up a little bit? It looks like it's smashing it. And do we need the spacers anyway?
No.
Oh. Is that gonna work?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Oh, we need the spacers, yes, underneath. Hang on. Crumbly shit behind it. What in the hell?
But I guess we should
No,
have
it
done it.
doesn't matter.
Short one
All
over
it
here.
is just space it up off the floor so if water gets in here, it doesn't soak in on the bottom. Okay, now let's see how much concrete I can hit. If my measurements were correct.
So you're still. That's gonna go on the outside.
That's for the water softener, and we didn't put it in because we didn't know where, don't cover that hole right there. We didn't know where Phil was gonna need to put it. you from Bethel.
I didn't see it.
Because we don't know for sure what's going to be mounted on the walls in this mechanical room with the installation of the plumbing and HVAC, but also into the future, we wanted to make sure that this OSB was firmly affixed to the wall, because it's not like a stud wall where you can go through the sheathing and attach to the framework underneath. So I went ahead and laid out a grid on all of the panels that we put on this wall. It's about 12 inches horizontal and 24 inches vertical. So what you're going to see me do here is countersink each of the holes that I drilled in it before we brought it in here, so that the head of the screw is below the surface. And then you're going to see me come around with the hammer drill and drill into the concrete cylinders that are in the block behind this board, and then put the screws in. The last hole.
The last. We hope.
You get one tarp, or we just gonna fold this one to fit?
I figured you just fold this one to fit.
as we're finishing up the paint in our mechanical room. At this point, we think we're ready for the rough end of the plumbing to go forward, but as you're going to see in the next video, there were still a few things that needed to be taken care of to get that process done. All right, folks, I think that's going to wrap this video up for today. Thank you for watching, and y'all have a good day.